Hey everyone, this is Just Being Me Speaks coming to you with the Audacity of a Side Chick Part 2. Now, as you can see here on the thumbnail, we will be discussing the latest with Wendy Williams, Kelvin Hunter, as well as Sharina Hudson. Now, before we actually get into it, please go ahead and like, share, and subscribe to the channel, as well as go ahead and hit the notification bell so you can be notified whenever a new video is uploaded. And not gonna hold you, we're gonna go ahead and get right into it. I don't plan for this video to be super long, so I just had to come and do a part 2 of the Audacity of a Side Chick Part 2 because I got some rather disturbing news on today. Well, I read some disturbing news here on today. So, allegedly, Miss Sharina is wanting to sue Wendy for Kelvin basically not being able to maybe take care of her anymore. It's pretty much what it sounds like. Now we, discussed in a previous video, which is the Audacity of a Side Chick Part 1, where we went over some things that have been going on with Wendy Williams and Kelvin Hunter. We know that the judge ordered for the actual alimony payments or spousal support that she had been paying. We are informed that they have since stopped due to Wendy's show being canceled. So she's no longer obligated to make those payments anymore. And of course, we know that Kelvin has went to the judge pleading his case, saying that his home is up for foreclosure, that he allegedly is needing hip surgery and he can't afford it because he doesn't have insurance. He hasn't paid insurance on his vehicle. The homeowners association is riding him about the home association fees, things to that nature. And I guess he was expecting for the judge to feel sorry for him. And the judge was like, tell it to somebody else, because as of right now, no, don't want to hear it. Now, being that I'm assuming that these spousal support payments have stopped, Serena lifestyle may have changed, as well as Kelvin. Now, it was recently alleged that he purchased her an $80,000 engagement ring. So my thing of it is, did you purchase that $80,000 ring before you knew that you had hip problems and needed hip surgery? Did you pay that $80,000 for that ring, before you decided to pay the homeowners association? You chose to purchase an $80,000 ring with no medical insurance. You also purchased an $80,000 ring with no car insurance. Now, it seemed like your priorities still messed up. But anyways, not gonna hold y'all with that either. But yeah, allegedly, Serena is wanting to sue Wendy because of the lifestyle change and how it has affected Kelvin now that he's no longer receiving the spousal payments. Well, first of all, the pure audacity of you, for one, to even be in your head to say anything. I'm just trying to figure out who raised these women. You go and you pretty much come in between something that God had united, whether they were on good terms, bad terms, I don't know. But either way it go, he was still a married man. You had a baby. Allegedly, you moved down the street from his wife. And then, when she decided to divorce him, you thought that you and him was going to go and run into the sunset and live this happy-go-lucky life. I guess basically being sponsored by his wife, who has always pretty much been the reason why he was able to take care of you and lure you in. Girl, I don't know how many times I have to say, I don't know where people get in their small brains that they can go and disrupt a household and cause issues and think that when, you know, the marriage is, over or however it goes, that everything is supposed to be peachy cream with them. Now, I can give it to him. At least he did decide, I guess, to stick it out with you, after he fumbled the bag with his wife, you know, more than what I can say for some, because some, you know, they'll play the side chick role. And then when he become available to be, your man, they still choose somebody else. So I guess you can give him a ups for at least sticking with you. But anyways, but how long did y'all really think that y'all would be able to um live in a luxury off of someone else's money? How long did you think that this lady was going to sit around and let y'all live it up off of her dime? Allegedly you're wanting to sue her for all the things, the material things that Wendy had repossessed from you, such as your Maybach, if I'm not mistaken. You want to sue because she took it back. How can you sue someone that bought it? Help me to understand. Help me to understand. And I'm trying again to figure out as to what do y'all do? Do y'all sit around all day? I mean, I did see where I guess you have like a couple of businesses that seems to be not doing too well, maybe because you don't have the finances to keep them up and rolling, because I'm pretty sure that you didn't maximize your platform that you gained from being a side chick. You didn't maximize that, or maybe was anyone supporting you? I'm not really sure, but however it goes, I guess you thought that it would be all good because as long as we're receiving these monthly payments, oh, it's all good. And now that the judge has said no more payments, you and your baby daddy is in an uproar. As if you thought. As if you thought. So quickly, I'm going to share something first. I'm going to go ahead and put my disclaimer here real quick. And basically, that is the copyright disclaimer that basically states under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teaching, scholarships, and research. Fair use is use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in the favor of fair use. This video was made for entertainment purposes and transformative in nature, meaning, boys and girls, we are doing this for entertainment and research. Everything on this channel is, in my opinion, and alleged. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen really, really quick and show what I actually saw here on a channel really, really quick. Hopefully y'all be able to hear it. Let's see here.
Were everywhere. The tabloids, the newspapers, credible news sources were talking about this affair.
Sharina Hudson warns Wendy Williams to sue her. When Audacity was being distributed as a personality trait, Kevin and Sharina tore apart her marriage, and you click the subscribe button so you never miss out on a video when it's being posted. Sharina attacks Wendy on social media. Wendy Williams has been ripped apart by her ex-husband Kevin Hunter's baby mama in a head-turning post on social media. Sharina Hudson threw plenty of shade to the former daytime talk show's way in an Instagram story. Happy and healthy is all I'm on right now, Sharina 37.
Okay, so I just wanted to share a little bit to give y'all a good idea who Serena was and who we're actually speaking of. Hopefully you were able to hear. But anyways, anywho, the whole point of it is, like I said, the pure audacity of being the other woman and you expecting for this woman to take care of you your child as well as her ex-husband. Now, if my, memory serves me right, this relationship has been over, or the marriage, they got divorced like a few years back. So up until fast forward to 2023, I know for 2 to 3 years, the spousal supports have been coming. Have y'all not been saving, for this, potentially could have happened? I mean, I'm pretty sure, y'all are tuned in to the news and you see that, Wendy's health had declined. And, part of the contract was that basically her, those spousal payments would have continued as long as she was on the show. Well, the show was canceled. So after it was canceled, what did you think that she was going to get the money from to continue making these payments? Which she better than me, because I would have went ahead and just quit the show a long time ago, just out the mere fact of not having to give you and her my money. Period. We that wouldn't even been, you wouldn't have got it the first year, because I would have immediately quit because it's no way I'm gonna take care of you, your woman, and your baby. No, that's not gonna happen. And it's a hurtful feeling because yes, this is being shared because of Wendy's, position here, in the media and, things of that nature. But just imagine how many women actually literally probably go through this. Now, I'm not sure about as far as the amount of spousal payments and things of that nature, but just the what women have to go through, period, when dealing with situations such as this, where you've been married, you know pretty much given your life and spent your life with someone that you thought was going to be your forever, and turns out they wind up being with someone else, and the other person have the audacity to come at you and come for you, you know expecting something from you. Like, who owe you anything? Don't nobody owe you nothing. You knew what it was when you got into this, and now that you know the well is ran dry, because as we've seen before, we know who be the force behind all of this. The money comes from, in the both occasions that we talked about on the previous video, the money was being made by the women. So now that the women is no longer existent, the well has ran dry, and these men can't uphold and maintain that lifestyle that y'all became accustomed to, because now basically that the well is dry, because you see then who actually is the moneymaker in the marriage. I mean, so regardless of what they may tell you and have you believing, the women be the force behind this, and then you wonder, well, what happened to the money, and it's this and it's that when it's all over, because 9 times out of 10 the woman is going to take it all because it's hers. Ariane, it's just what it is. And I mention Ariane because it's the same thing that she's going through, but as we see, Martell didn't even go with her and build a relationship with her. He totally went to somebody totally different, because he even basically ruined his marriage, his family, behind someone that he can't even picture or see himself even with, because she is, what he say, not on his level, because he say that he want a woman that at least is worth over $50,000, and we know that ain't the case with her, because she even said it herself that now that the money is gone because him and Mel is divorced, he's a broke celebrity because he has nothing. Mel was the force behind that marriage, and now that that's no longer, his well has ran dry, and we've seen him scratching and surviving in every way he possibly can to try to get back to where he was, and he's having a hard time. But until these men take accountability for the things that they have done, and change their ways, everything you do is going to turn to dust because you're not doing with good intentions. You're not doing it with a good heart. Same as with Kelvin. How dare you sit up here and live your life for years at a time, basically with your ex-wife taking care of you and the woman that basically broke her down. Because let's just be honest, it looks as though Wendy's health declined tremendously after all of this came out. And some people tend to say, okay, well, they think maybe Wendy is playing, this is all a part of a game that Wendy is playing, as far as, her health issues because she don't want to have to be responsible for paying. If that is the case, bravo. Girl, you should have been thought of it. You should have been did it. Because I'm telling you, they wouldn't have got one dime. Not one. The show would have been over the day the judge would have said I had to pay him. Oh, the show over. That's over with. I quit. Because you wouldn't have gotten not one red penny from me. So now that, everything has went to nothing, who you expecting to feel sorry for you? We'll wait. Why do you expect for people to feel sorry for you? Like, you are. Y'all don't know what a job means? Like, go get a job. Go get a job, go get Obamacare, do what you got to do, because no longer is this woman responsible for taking care of you and your chick and your baby. Like, the pure audacity. Again, it goes back to the pure audacity of women these days. Who raised these people? Because where's your morals? Where is it, pop up in your head that maybe, I didn't hit a hard time because of what I did. I ruined a marriage. You played a part. But a lot of these women, I think we often call men narcissistic, but we can't just skip over the fact that we have women that are also narcissistic as well. So when you're dealing with women such as, Sharina or Ariane and things of that nature, they're just as narcissistic as a man because honestly, in the back of their mind, they did no wrong. As Ariane said so many times, had she been doing XYZ and XYZ, blaming the one, blaming the wife as to the reason why they exist. However, if you were a real woman, you wouldn't have given him the time of the day knowing that he was still a married man. Because the first thing that should have popped out in your head, if he would do her like that and he's been with her for years, what will he do to me? Don't let the number fool you, because of course, as we say, them first year or two, however it go, everything is peaches and cream. But when you get to the meat of it, and when you start running into times such as these, more than likely, he may wind up doing you the way he did her. And now you're the one broken. Or better yet, for these men that go and get these younger women, that 9 times out of 10, had you been the average broke person, they probably wouldn't gave you the time of day anyway. So 9 times out of 10, now that your money ain't really just stacked up like that no more, and you ain't got no motion, they ain't got too much for you. So 9 times out of 10, they'll probably eventually wind up leaving anyway, because they were there with a motive. Kelvin, you say you need hip surgery. That means your hip ain't working. So what you gonna do with this young woman in a bad hip? Now, had you stayed with your wife, maybe, she could have got you the proper care, XYZ. But no, you're with this young chick that can't even put you on her insurance. Like, y'all have to stop being so blinded by this outer appearance, because it's a very thin line. And again, it goes back to who raised you, where's your morals, where is any of that, and who are your elders that you supposed to look up to? Do they not talk to you and tell you? I mean, like, Is this what y'all do? But y'all, I said I wasn't gonna let this video be too long. Again, this was part 2. If I hear anything else or anything else come out that I feel is side chickish, we will make this a part 3. Y'all go ahead and comment below. Let me know how you feel in reference to this. Can you relate? Tell me, how fair do you think this is? Express it down there in the comments. Again, on the replay crew, please like, share, and subscribe to this video. Also, hit the notification bell for the next video to come out. You'll be notified. Again, I want to thank each and every one of you for supporting the channel. And as I always tell y'all, thank you so, so much. I love y'all. And until next time, bye.